All right, call to order the September 13th meeting, 2023. We'll begin with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda would be if anybody in the public has any comments or questions. All right, quiet bunch this evening. Next, oh, actually, I skipped one. We have the consideration of approval for the special meeting minutes from July 26th, 2023. So moved. What's that? So moved. Motion made by Fred to approve.
You have to second, because that wasn't there.
Oh, seconded by myself. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Next up, we will have our chief's reports. We'll start with Chief McCollum.
Take that me first every time.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I do.
thank you.
So the budget's going along fine. We've only spent about just under 18%. You can see it on the units report I gave you that the gentleman can look at. And that's overall. We have some items on order. The hose that we ordered just came in. It's all 2.5 and 3 inch. As I continue the program to replace what should be replaced. What's left now will be a small amount of 1 3/4 and at least 10 lengths of the fabric 5 inch. That'll be what's left for next year's budget. Unless we're able to get it sooner, ARPA funds become available for that. Look to do that or have them non-recurring,
Mhm.
I'm just kind of watching the prices, if it comes down and it's a real good price, I'm gonna suggest that we buy it now. If it stays steady, we can wait till next year to buy it. That hose, the 5 inches is basically to get on the rack. So when we use it off the rigs, we have some on the rack because we only have a couple lengths of 5 inch on the rack. Everything's on the rigs.
Okay.
We just did, we combined the N95, the spirometry and the fit testing together. That was several dates. It worked out extremely well. We had a great turnout. Everybody seemed very happy with being able to show up and do 3 things all at once. One bill's already come in that I paid, and there's another bill that's gonna be coming in that I'll pay. And we'll be good there on that line item. We will be on the line item. Which will be good.
Okay.
Training is continuing. We got some specialized training at the rope, the second part of the rope course is coming up that Chief Evanuska helped set up for Stony Hill and Bethel. That was moved, so the first part's been done, the second part's coming up.
Okay.
The fire police course that Gene Relick from Stony Hill helped set up. Was gonna be this weekend, but due to severe weather, it's been moved. To, I believe it was the 23rd, I think I saw on the notice. And that's for both departments. And that includes anybody in this area that wants to come and take it also.
Where is that gonna be?
That'll
Gonna be hosted at Stony Hill
Yeah.
for the classroom work, and I believe they were working with the police department to, because they have to do practicals where they
Right.
actually do divert traffic. They're gonna use the intersection at Plumtrees and Whittlesey to
because they have to do a live portion to pass the course.
it just has to be some multi-lane traffic, so at least you have another lane, a turn lane or something that they can do some minor changes, but
And that'll
see
be
it
great.
happening with-
Yeah.
It's gonna be a very small class, probably
Yeah.
a dozen.
But at least we'll have more people, so that's great.
And the date again, please?
I believe it's the 23rd, and it was moved to, it was gonna be the 16th, but because of
And
severe
time?
weather. It's all day,
Okay.
all day starts, I believe, at 8
Yep.
AM,
Oh.
and it goes all day. Okay,
But they're only gonna be
so
in
one
that
day,
intersection.
one day course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, that's good. All the shirts that were ordered through ARPA for Bethel EMS came in. And they're being distributed to the people that they're supposed to go to. That's basically where we're at.
Of the allotted,
I'm sorry.
of the allotted ARPA,
Mhm.
is yours all,
I'm tracking it. I still have some left
okay,
on both sides. And
Okay.
I told them I need ideas for what they feel we should get,
Okay,
and that it has to conform to what you can spend it on.
okay,
And I don't wanna hear anything that we can't spend it on, it's gotta be what we can spend it on.
okay,
So that when I present it,
good,
it's not an issue.
Yep.
I have the reports for the last 2 years from Alan's Knight, who does all the work on our apparatus.
Yeah.
If you gentlemen want to see those tonight, they're here, and the munis report I supplied to you before the meeting, so that you can all see that, that's up to date, that's the most recent one. They come to myself and Chief Baker approximately a week after the month closes out. So that we can track it and see what we're at. Okay.
Yep.
That's basically it.
appreciate it.
Oh, the fire two course is over.
Okay,
They're just in the testing phase now. And fire one's gonna be soon. I'll let you know when the dates are, when that happens. October 3rd. Is it, oh, okay, set up October 3rd is good. It's gonna start.
nicely done.
And that's both departments working together.
We had like 16 people.
We do. That's
Okay.
great.
That's good size.
And that's with all the instructors in both departments
Volunteer,
taking
right?
no money. So we're, you know.
The only out of cost part of it is, what David talked to you about with the hazmat.
Right, the hazmat stuff, that's a.
Yep.
Most of that's gonna be a one-time expense, we're gonna share that expense, and books.
Okay.
We all got our own books, and anybody from another department that comes in has to purchase their books.
Right.
Because then they're walking away with it, so.
Yep.
But it's saving the town of Bethel a huge amount of money, that all the instructors are taking nothing.
Very much so, much appreciated.
Chief, am I also correct in saying that the Bethel Fire Department received another 5 gas meter via donation?
Yeah, that was from Rizzo Corporation. I have to get a hold of him so that we can do a formal presentation and publicize that and thank him for that.
So how many 5 gas?
So now
meters
we
do you
have
in
three.
Total, right?
We do, yeah. One on the engine, one on the squad, one on the truck. So there's 3, including, you know, there's still all the 4 gas are all there too, we're maintaining those. We've had to buy some stuff for them, but, you know, and a bottle of gas we have to buy, but other than that, we're good.
Okay,
Always looking for donations, always.
never turn down donations. Chief Baker,
Okay, as far as the ARPA funds go, we've gotten in most of what we were, purchased. The only thing we're waiting on that's major is the striker stretcher. That is still on back order. They're saying at least another month for that. Because again, so many people in this area use these same funds to purchase them. The power load has been installed when we had, maintenance and repairs done on the ambulance by the dealership. So we are using the new power load system. But it's just a matter of waiting for
so the new stretcher comes in, it's ready to go.
it should be ready to go, yeah, barring any bugs and programming issues.
Gotcha.
The other things, the parkas have been partially ordered. We're waiting on those. The command boards, they're waiting on some back ordered clipboards. I don't know why that's holding it up, but that should be in shortly. We still do have, like Bethel, a few thousand left on the fire side that we do have to spend. The EMS has already been spent and allocated because of that big expense of 53 out of the 75 for the
Stretcher, right?
the stretcher and power load. Outstanding things that I put in that I wanted on the agenda, I don't know if it can come under my report, but I'm still waiting for an answer on where we're standing with the chief's truck.
Yeah,
Where do we stand with the camera system being installed in the firehouse? That I was told was put on hold because the town electrician no longer worked for the town. They were thinking about bringing him back for this project because it was started while he was here.
yeah,
I don't know where that stands, but I have a bunch of cameras just sitting in boxes in one of my supply rooms.
yeah.
And again, where do we stand with this police study? One of the things I wanted to update everyone on is the status of engine 11. The batteries have shorted out, it won't start anymore.
Oh, nice.
So we were taking it out like once a week and it was always on the trickle charge, but now it won't even take a trickle charge. I tried to put it on a full battery charger and they're shorted out. We looked online, it probably costs about $800 to replace the batteries. And the problem is now that we can't start it and drive it, we're gonna be flat spotting the tires and it won't be drivable either, even if we could get it started.
Okay,
I've been asking what's the status on this truck and I keep saying, well, we're just trying to get a better price. Well, how? And now it's gonna have to get towed out of there.
Yeah, we kind of discussed that when the first selectman was here, right? Didn't.
Rich, do you know if the town has any plans to do another municipal equipment auction like they've done in the past?
Not aware of.
I mean, that was put on auction and they weren't willing to take the $2,600 that was offered for it, so. Now, the last I heard there was an offer made for $1,500, knowing that probably had to spend the $800 for batteries because. The last time the batteries were replaced in that was February of 2014.
Wow.
They last a long time.
Yeah, they did. Pretty
Got
impressive.
your money's worth.
Wow. Okay,
I mean, we take it to GK every year, they load test them and they were good. So that's who we rely on to tell us.
Yeah, and the longer it sits, the more the value goes down.
Well, I'll check with Brad and see if he knows if we're having any sales going on.
yeah,
Auction.
I mean,
We just
maybe-
got engine 3 back from having a coolant sensor replaced and the compressor for the air conditioning. So some of these older trucks are starting to creep up with some major issues. We just got the rescue back for almost being out a week with air leaks for the brake system. That's a 24-year-old truck, so we may be in this situation pretty quick again.
do you know, back to engine 11, what was their minimum that they wanted, if 2,600 wasn't?
The 2,600 was the highest bid that they
No,
got.
I know that, but I'm saying, what
We
did
were
they?
asking 25,000.
I
Oh,
don't think it was a minimum.
oh,
There wasn't a minimum on it.
oh,
That's what we were hoping to get.
Tom, do you remember what they got for
25,000?
2002?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity,
Between 8 and 12,000, I think.
is what?
8 and 12,000 for the
For the
77
the
engine
old
2 that
engine
we
two.
sold
Oh, yeah,
back in 2013.
We'll sell that other truck for 7, something like that.
Yeah.
it was 5, but whatever, and they're on the first due long range.
Less than Fred and I thought it was typically sold. for.
They love
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
okay,
That's it.
thank you. I will, try to find out the, status of your chief's truck and the camera system. I'll contact the board of selectmen. All right. Next item would be the, our last quarter's maintenance records, which, you present, oh no, you have your gallons of night stuff. I know that this was your item, so
It's 2 years.
I'll let Fred speak to this one.
Have you had any issues, chief? Any-
Well,
any
we
major
had-
issues?
We had like the truck this year, we did that piston over that needed to be done, it was leaking.
Which-
Uh,
One of the jack pistons?
yeah, one of the jack pistons,
It was just a
it's
wiper-
noted
it was
in
just a
there.
wiper seal or something.
they took it out and they sent it out and it was all repacked. And then it was brought back, they tested it, and they put it back on the rig. The big issue that kept it out an extra week was the power steering pump. That previously, somebody that worked on it, like used JB Weld or something, because it was leaking. And of course, that failed. And we had to replace it. So GK looked to source it on this coast, couldn't find it. Couldn't find it throughout the Midwest, they finally found it in California. But it literally had to be made. It had to be manufactured and put together in California, there wasn't one on the shelf that they could just send us. So they did that, and then it was aired overnight from California to Connecticut. And they installed it, like that took an extra week that the truck was down for.
That was part of my concern in bringing up the maintenance records,
Yeah.
chief. Especially on the ladder truck. I mean, that ladder truck is basically why this commission got formed in the long run. And before your time, but
Nothing to do with anybody here.
correct, but so anyway, my concern with the ladder truck is in the past. That, that's a specialized piece of equipment. In the past, ever since 1977, that truck was serviced through a service contract with the Suffolk Corporation. So
Here's the firm we use now, there's everything on the ladder truck, including pictures. It's a very thorough report that they did.
I understand that. Suffolk offers a service contract on that specific vehicle, and
Yes.
we've always used it in the past. In addition to the third-party ladder testing, and in addition to, regular routine maintenance. I've asked your chief engineer, and he kind of looked at me with a blank stare, like he didn't really know what I was talking about when I mentioned a service.
I contacted them and they never got back to us.
And
because
going back to your
I
power
sent
steering
the
pump,
paperwork to them to do it.
going back to your power steering pump, it was in the original specs for that truck that they will maintain parts for that truck for a period of 20 years.
Well,
So they must have a power steering pump on the shelf for that truck.
they tried to find it everywhere and they couldn't find it. So as I can tell you,
So anyway, my concern is that we're not utilizing the proper service on that truck. We should be having Suffolk perform the annual service on that truck.
something didn't get back to me. That's what I'm telling you. I filled out all the forms, sent them in on time, signed, sealed and delivered, never got back to us. Never got back to us. So I moved on, because you know what? I'm not gonna chase. I'm not. I mean, like I said, that's pretty thorough. If you read through that, it's a pretty thorough report. With what they did.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with thorough reports, I'm concerned with thorough work.
I think they
As
did.
far,
thorough
as far
work.
as I know, there's only 2 companies in the state of Connecticut that have authorized Suffolk service. And that would be Shipments and Eddie Boughton out of Branford. They're the only ones that have Suffolk certified mechanics.
Well, I can tell you, GK didn't do to that pump what was done to that pump. It was somebody else before my time. I don't know who. I don't know where it went and what was done. But somebody did that. And they should have been replaced back then. I mean, let's face it, you don't do that. It's fire apparatus. Specialized piece of equipment.
Right, no, my point is we're not taking advantage of a $1,200 service contract that's provided by the manufacturer of the apparatus.
Twice. Twice I tried. They haven't answered.
Would it help if the letter came from the fire commission to stop it? And ask them,
You know,
we had a,
It's not.
when we bought the truck that they said that we can have parts for 20 years.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the annual service on the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, Suffolk used to come out and they would perform an actual inspection, an actual service of the vehicle. And that's not being done.
That's exactly what these guys did. Read the report. That's what I'm telling you. Read the report. And I did try to get them here, and like I said, they never got back to us. They never got back to us, which I was very disappointed with because I made sure all the paperwork was filled out and sent to them on time.
Can you ask the secretary to scan that and send it to members?
Do you have
The
a
reports?
access to the office or not?
Oh, well, not right now, I mean.
I'll get it done,
Yeah.
we'll get, yeah. I can do. All right. Yes, I'll get that done. All right. Any other major maintenance issues? Ongoing, you spoke to yours.
Yeah, we had a couple of,
The trucks are getting old.
Yeah.
You know. The squad, there's one bill I haven't got for the squad yet, which was for the valve, the front suction valve is shot, was shot, it's been replaced. And the pump packing, which is it's a different pump packing. It's ceramic, yeah. So they ordered that and they
You
did all
run
the
dry
work.
like crack.
They did all the work. Sent the truck back, and when they got those parts in, we scheduled it to go back and it went back and they did those 2 things to it.
Okay.
So that's a separate bill that they're gonna be sending. I haven't received it yet.
Okay.
But everything, you know, it's back and it's working. You know, that truck now is, that's a 15, so that's, you know, 8 years going on 9 years old. And 6 is 5 years old, going on 5 years old now, so that's the youngest one we got. The others are all 15 to 20 years old. And Stony Hill's in tough shape too, because they got some older than that.
Okay.
Definitely gotta get a program in place to do whatever we're gonna do, whether it's refurb or replace. Gotta do something.
I got you. Next item would be the last quarter spending reports, which you submitted to us.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna, like we talked about, I'll have Sebby start emailing me those, and then I'll.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest way, because then if you gentlemen have any questions, you will have reviewed it before the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can ask
Same thing. I'll just
myself and
send
Chief
those out.
Baker,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
hey, this line
appreciate it.
here in this account,
You like that idea?
you know, we want to know, you know,
Okay.
what this is for.
Yep.
DJ, you want them, I guess, email to you?
Well, if I'm gonna find out about getting on email.
You're saying if it's gonna be going forward, I can get you the.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll scan them and send them out to these guys. Does that work?
Yeah, that works.
You can just email directly.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, the last item is the update on our consultant study. And I'm gonna let Tommy speak to that because he's kind of our liaison.
Yeah, we had a kickoff meeting with the chiefs in the first selectman last month. They're trying to get here in mid-September to do a site visit, but one of the gentlemen, they're both down in Florida, the Rob and Rod. And they were activated for one of the hurricanes. But anyway, we had the dates set for the 28th, 29th, and 30th of September, which is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Gonna plan Thursday, get some stuff Thursday, Friday, come to town hall, and Friday afternoon, Saturday, try to, visit the town and the fire departments. He stressed he really wants to try to talk to as many members as he can, so I'm gonna call him and just kind of see. He's got a better time frame, so we can kind of see, which firehouse to do when or how that's gonna work, but he really wants to get a lot of input from the membership and the.
I know
officers.
when they were in town for Denver, they basically worked all day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think they have a pretty flexible schedule.
Yeah, so they have a portal, to put a lot of documents in it. I gave them all the, incident reports for the last 5 years. We gotta put some more information there. They want all the SOPs and SOGs and bylaws. Any old, studies, so I gave them the Holdsworth study. I put that in there. So
Okay,
that was done in 2013, so they have a copy of that.
it's good. That's all I've ever heard about.
Yeah, and then just some basic data about the firehouses and the apparatus.
I got a copy of it like that, I'll give it to you.
No, good.
You got that, Tom?
Yeah.
Not any longer,
We'll see what happens by the end of the month, they'll come out then
Okay,
and visit, visit.
all right. And you'll just let me know all those times.
Yeah, I'll try to get a better idea of what, what times he wants to
Okay,
talk to everybody.
any more questions on that? That's where we stand. That'll be
That's where we stand.
that's the nuts and bolts of it right there when he does it.
It's finally gonna happen.
Do you need any additional information?
No, I just, wait, I think Billy was gonna give me the SOGs from Belleville, I gotta put them in there, but I think that's the biggest thing left of.
Replacing John's chief's truck, that's outside the scope of this study, all right, that's,
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned,
we've already moved.
We-
on it.
we did that. and I mean, we had that discussion last month, right, or July.
Right, yeah, I mean, Dan was here,
So
he was,
he was,
he was gonna bring
he,
it back.
you know, because we tabled, you guys tabled it, remember? So he was gonna bring it back to you. And we didn't.
He has to bring it back to the board, and
Yeah.
then they either have to
So,
nix it or forward it to the Board of Finance.
so I'll remind him if you want to remind him too, and then see where we're at. But as far as I was concerned, we already passed it along before the select, and so I don't think we really need to rehash it out on our end. Right?
Right, yeah, I mean, I think we hashed it out more than once.
That, the nuts and bolts of what we were talking about a long time ago.
Yes,
The
remember,
command vehicle.
vehicle, yeah, that, then it came to the point of whether to pay for, remember that argument, Brian?
The last I had heard was,
That's where it got, that's where it
that was
left.
your
off.
heated discussion with Brian
Brian.
on where the money was gonna be allocated. You both agreed that it needed to be purchased, but where the money was
Where
gonna
the
come
money
from.
was coming.
So it technically isn't approved
So
because.
it kind of
the
got
money
lost
wasn't
after
allocated.
that.
Okay.
If we could resurface that, it would be appreciated. Okay, all right. All right, that's it that I got on here.
Got a question.
Okay, go for it.
The changes that the chief and I both brought to you that we agreed upon,
Yes,
where are we with that?
well, we discussed those last month too, remember, and then did they come up to the board of selectmen? Probably not. So I will reach out to Dan again.
I mean, I think they all need to be done, but very important.
The
is the one
designee
that
one.
Either John or I aren't available.
Yeah.
We're able to have somebody else that's designated to come here and speak on behalf.
I know,
of-
under his opinion, he was fine if you do that, and I can tell you.
Yeah.
As the chairman, I don't care if you have anybody else go.
Yeah.
You
You know?
appoint somebody
Yeah.
to
We just
represent
think it
you
should
in
be,
your
I
effort.
mean, off
That's-
record, we can do that off record. and put-
No, absolutely, you
one
know,
or two people that are.
I think they have to do it.
Yeah.
I think the thing was, it's gotta be a charter revision, right? Which they have a
Right,
charter
that's what
revision
he said.
coming up.
Did Marty look into that?
He was.
My
He
own,
was looking into
my
it, yes.
personal opinion is you just appoint somebody in your absence.
I'm fine with
I
that.
don't think,
Dan had told me early on, he said, is the chairman, if you're okay with them having somebody else in, which
Because my problem is the way it's written,
I know.
I can't really do that, neither can Chief Baker. Because of the way it's written. So it should be changed.
But I think the thing was the charter revision, and isn't that coming up soon? Isn't there a charter?
No, it doesn't have to be in a charter, it's an ordinance, so.
Ordinance thing?
An ordinance.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. All right, I'll,
Just wanna make sure it stays up.
I'll verify. I'll keep it at the top of the list with the Chiefs card.
There you go.
Second though, yeah, don't worry, I'll make that second on the list.
It's
Don't
not-
worry, when you get it, it's gonna be newer than you expected.
And it's not on your agenda, but I have a little bit of an update with the PFAS.
Oh, okay, go for it.
So there is a public act that was passed this year.
Yep.
that The state will fund and reimburse towns
For
for
the
the
clean,
costs.
yeah,
So I actually emailed Jeff Morris that, and he got back to me. They're working on the guidance for that now and the information, and they think within the next month or two, they'll have something from the fire academy
okay.
on the guidance for that, how to do it and how to go about getting reimbursed, so.
When you hear of that, can you let us know? We'll throw it on the
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah, and they're expecting, statewide between like it'll cost between $2 and $4 million for the state to do all the fire apparatus that has.
Dropping the bucket.
Okay,
And there's only two departments I know of that done it. It's between $6,000 and $10,000 a piece of apparatus to remove the foam and move the tanks out.
Wow.
And still then the tanks aren't really usable.
So you're gonna spend all this money to evacuate the tanks and
Yeah.
your foam system is still gonna be useless.
Correct.
Unless you completely dismantle it, take every single part that had any
Makes no
PFAS in it
sense.
and replace it with new.
But now you don't have 40 gallons of foam in your tank. If you have a catastrophic failure, you're not hundreds of thousands of dollars in cleanup costs.
Yeah, it's all going to Canada anyways.
all right,
So anyway, more to come on that.
keep us informed.
The other thing was, I forgot the purchase order system. You guys know that was put in place?
No.
Apparently, there were a couple, over expenditures in other, not us. not us.
Other
Let me
departments,
stress that, other departments. Rich might know, who they were, right? It's not worth mentioning, but it happened and. And I did let the first selectman know and Brad know that I'm disappointed that. There's a blanket thing now for all of us.
Mhm.
That anything over 2,500, even though it's in the budget, we have to write a purchase order for.
Gotcha.
And I explained it to both gentlemen that, I'm not guilty of anything, why am I being punished? I just punish the people that did it.
Mhm.
Put them on double secret probation for a year, doing that, it's just another thing that kind of hamstrings us a little bit. But,
I was gonna say, I go, purchase order for everything.
well, years ago, we had purchase orders that you wrote out before you ever did anything. But this is after the fact, because of a couple of people that overspent.
Okay.
Largely, apparently,
gotcha,
yes,
all right,
but we're doing it, we're following the rules.
well, that's good. All right, anything else? No, make a motion to adjourn,
Second.
seconded by Rich, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right,
Thank you. for
Thank you.
coming Tonight, so we had a meeting, I do appreciate that.
Hey, you only missed your daughter's open house.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
it's the
that
last
exciting.
one. So it's kind of,
I never
kind of
that excited.
Me neither.
if you guys want copies of those.
I was gonna ask you, can we get copies?
Yeah. let's- let's-
When you.
David, we're talking about-